Years ago, my family traveled all over the United States. For about 10 years, we were in different churches every week, or college, or summer camp every week. I remember being in a small town in Oklahoma where I preached every night and we would pray with folks. And generally, we did this a lot and had a good time. But this week, it wasn't happening. And I'm not quite sure why, but it just didn't work. And I remember after being there about 3 days, the pastor took me out to lunch. And I was already discouraged because I couldn't figure out why I wasn't connecting with the people. And, some people have the gift of encouragement. He had the gift of discouragement. And about halfway through lunch, he said to me, "Doug, is there anything else you can do?" I said, "Well, I don't know. Why do you ask?" He said, "Well, it's obvious you can't do this very well." Whew. I remember going back to that small church and spending all afternoon in the sanctuary, and I was defeated. I was so discouraged. I thought, "Lord, what do I do? Do I quit? Do I take my little family home?" We had a couple kids at the time, and I sensed the Lord say to me one word: recount. Recount. I thought, what's this? And as I meditated on it, it was the thought I had was recount my faithfulness. So I thought, okay, I'll do that. But I still was very discouraged. And I said, well, there was a couple years ago when I remember, and he seemed to say, no, go all the way back. And so I did. In fact, I pulled out a yellow legal pad, and I began to write down the times that the Lord had shown himself faithful, and the times where I thought, calamity was upon us, but the Lord redeemed it for good. And it would take far too long to share with you everything that I wrote down, but let me give you 3 or 4. I remember being in the 7th grade, the worst year of my life. I was picked on and teased, but it actually gave me a heart of compassion. I remember graduating from high school and sleeping in my backyard, and in my sleeping bag, I remember it so distinctly, and I cried out to the Lord. I was so afraid of going to college and failing. I figured I would fail. And he showed himself strong. I remember my high school sweetheart breaking up with me during college, and it was devastating. I had never hurt like that before, but the Lord used it to grow my spirit and brought this beautiful girl into my life that I've married now for 42 years, my best friend Debbie. I remember working in industry. I was director of market research for a steel company, and I survived the first 2 layoffs, but got caught in the third, and we were pregnant with our first child. And I remember putting Debbie to bed and coming down in the living room and crying out to the Lord, "Lord, what are you doing? We're tithing, we're doing all, what are we doing?" and how the Lord used that to lead us to seminary and into ministry and into this beautiful life he's given us. And I wrote down all these things one after another, and we've thought we were down before, and he's brought us through. And I just remembered, I recounted his faithfulness. Now, why am I sharing all this with you? Because some of you are very discouraged. Maybe you've lost a job. Maybe you're afraid you're going to lose a job. Maybe you're watching the news and you're just paralyzed with fear and everything you see going on. But I know this. God has been building a case history in your life for his faithfulness. And I challenge you to do this. Would you get out a yellow legal pad or piece of typing paper and just begin to write down the times that he has brought you through? And you will see that he is faithful. I love Psalms 100. He's good. His love endures forever, and his faithfulness continues throughout all generations, including this one. Be encouraged. God bless you. Debbie and I love you. We're praying for you.